Hey guys, welcome back to another one of my behind the scenes tours at my Finch Farm Bridge Bunker Settlement. The last video ran a little long, so I'm going to try to streamline this one, but I definitely want to take a moment to say thank you guys so much for all the wonderful comments I've been getting in the comment sections of my videos. You guys are definitely showing me a lot of love, very little hate, if any, and we are well on our way to 10,000 subscribers. I'm very happy about that. And for the rest of you guys who are just hitting that like button, subscribing, I very much appreciate that too. Okay, so let's get started. First of all, I want to mention that the bunker sheriff is back. I reloaded the game and he was in his proper place, so that is awesome. You can now see him guarding the front door like a boss. Okay, so let's just pick up right where we left off, which I think we were about to enter the kitchen slash cafeteria, mess hall, garden, pantry. All of these rooms have multiple names, multiple uses, but yeah, let's just take a quick look around this room. Okay, so we have the picnic tables, because I figured that was the easiest way to maximize the space in here. Didn't put a whole lot of stuff on these tables because I wanted to create sort of a buffet sort of atmosphere, and I didn't do a lot with this either. This was one of the last things I did, and I sort of got tired of placing items on shelves and stuff, so I just put some soups and Slocum's Bud Bites, and you know, had to put the perfectly preserved pie, of course, right here. Sweet roll, some tea, some alcohol, Nuka-Cola, cups, soups.
Welcome to Finch Farm, or Finch Junkyard. Take your pick.
Oh yeah, I should mention, I went ahead and put the sack hood on her. Actually, to be honest, I meant to take it off. I just tried it on one of the settlers that I found just to see what it would look like. 'Cause, you know, I was thinking about making one of my settlers this weird sort of Sandman guy that was going to wander around the settlement and be creepy, but ended up leaving it on her by accident. But it's pretty funny, so I'll leave it on.
So much junk in one place? That'd be my husband's handiwork.
Okay. These shelves have lots of nice items. What I tried to do for these was use all the items that I found that were new or undamaged. Sometimes they're called
got some goods I can sell you if you're looking.
Untarnished, unused, new, unscorched. You know, they'll have various names, but they're basically a little less damaged than the kind that you find commonly out in the Commonwealth. You know, some of these items too were found in various vaults where they were a little more preserved. Yeah, see, preserved Instamash instead of regular Instamash. You know, things like that. So yeah, I saved all those, stored them up, and I knew I was going to use them in a settlement, so just put them all here. I love this. It's a frying pan, and somehow I managed to drop an omelet into the frying pan. I think that's classic. It took a little bit of work, actually, because it wants to try to clip through the pan, but patience is a virtue. Okay, yep, and there's... Actually, that's a rad scorpion omelet. This is a Mirelurk egg, but you know, wanted to put all that stuff there. Okay, this is the best they had as far as a cooking station. I don't know why the meat looks like it's chrome. I think because it's a little bit wet. Or yeah, it's wet because it's raining outside now. Well, I'll tell you, I just reloaded from the last time I did this, and those clear weather fireworks only last about 10 minutes. It's kind of lame. But yeah, you know, wanted to put a stew pot below these. And we have a nice grill over here as well, just a little extra. Put some candles on it, but got the meats ready to go. Got a hoe up here. Shovel over here. Nice untarnished metal bucket to put the carrots in.
That'd be my husband.
Oh, and by the way, the reason I chose carrots is because, interestingly enough, I could fit almost 16 carrots onto a single farming plot. Whereas with the mute fruit trees, I could only fit 4 onto a plot. So they give, I think they give 1 each or 2 each. I can't remember, but these actually only give 0.5. But if you have 16 of them, that adds up to 8. And between those 3 plots of land, that is how I am getting a food number of 16 up there. Moving on. Oh, and by the way, I got this food paste here and this furious rolling pin. But you know, the food paste looked a little bit like saltwater taffy, or at least some kind of candy. So I decided to throw it on this table. Maybe they were making some dessert or something. All right, moving on. Actually, if you guys want to hold on a second, I'm going to go and make some more of those clear weather fireworks. In fact, I'll show you how to do it. You just go into your fireworks section, go down here, clear weather. And I'll be back when we have a sunny day. Okay, guys, we are back. Good thing I did that too, because there was a really loud plane that was flying over. It gave us time for it to let it fly by. Okay, so moving on to the next room I have here, and that is one of our vendor rooms. For this room, I decided to lump the armor and the weapons together into the same room. Left side, we have armor. She's got the cool BOS uniform on. For him, I decided to make him look like a sort of an army vet. All right, we have the weapons workbench here too, which is the logical place for it in this case. And then we have these nice display mannequins that are showing off some of the more unique outfits in Fallout 4. So I'll go over these real quick. This right here is the rescue diver suit that you can acquire from one of the Far Harbor side quests. This is the Mechanist outfit, which of course comes from the Automatron DLC. This right here, this guy is cool. He looks like another one of those Star Wars figures. It's trippy. Let's see what he's wearing. Yeah, he's just got a Colonial Duster and this Inquisitor's Cowl, which comes from one of the Children of Atom side quests in Far Harbor. And then just for the fun of it, have this DB Tech varsity uniform, a pompadour wig, and some sunglasses to make this guy look like sort of a 50s high school student or college kid. All right, so this guy's selling weapons. Just threw a couple of weapons up on the counters. These things, these caltrips, they aren't really that effective, but they are kind of cool to display. A harvester, there's a unique weapon. Yeah, I just decided to put up some of these racks, which are from, I think, the Contraptions DLC. I could be wrong about that. But yeah, a lot of these really cool, unique weapons I'm not even using. Oh, this is supposed to be up here. Okay, yep, we have the gainer. Made a video about how to get that. Put a link for that if you want. Made a video about how to get the shish kebab as well. There's Big Jim.
Yes.
Made a video about Les Fusils Terribles. Didn't make a video about this. This is one of the side quests from Far Harbor. Comes actually from the Mechanist Slayer in the Automatron DLC that appeared in the last of the episodes there, as well as this item. This item I normally carry around, but I just wanted to throw it up here because it looks unique. I will grab it as soon as I start heading out for one of my trivia walkthroughs, which is going to be probably the next video that I put out, or the one after, we'll see, but it's definitely coming up in the next few videos before I get back to the part 3 of this behind the scenes, where I answer all your questions and start talking about all of the fascinating tips and tricks. This room right here is another vendor room, this time for clothing and some of the more mundane general store items. So, you know, wanted to make this one look a little more loungy, call it a salon. Got some of the items on the table here.
Yeah.
Got this settler here looking a little bit like a flapper, like a 1920s flapper. Got the sale items over here. A lot of these items are, just decided to fill the table, make it look cool. Got the toiletries and things like that. Okay, moving on. We have the clinic here. Little infirmary, I guess you can call it. There's always so many different names for each room. But yeah, Wanted to have someone, I don't even really even use this, but wanted to have an infirmary in this settlement since I didn't have one in my other. And, we're going to pretend that she's a highly trained medical doctor.
Not many doctors around these days. Should let me take a look at you.
Okay.
Not interested.
Very well.
So, assuming that she's a highly trained medical doctor, she's going to have some things like bones and skulls on display. It looks like a brain, doesn't it? It's actually brain fungus, but hey. From back here, it looks like a brain. And then, of course, we have all of the surgical equipment on the table. This undamaged camera, we're going to assume is for x-rays, You could make a case for all of these items. Bone cutters, of course. Blood packs. This light, I clipped into this cabinet. I don't know how I did it. I just did. Acid, bones, stim packs, And of course, you got to have the
I can patch you up if you need it. For a small fee, of course.
hospital poster here. Fits in perfectly. There's the desk where she types up medical reports and makes notes. Got some chems and various drugs. Here's the bed where the people that are injured sleep with the surgical lamp, I suppose. The bowl to put maybe where she removes bullets and slugs. IV bags. I don't really use this syringer, but this seems like a good place for it.
If you need fixing up, let's get a look at you.
File cabinets to keep the medical records. Okay, moving on. All right, next we have the reading room or the library, the study, whatever you want to call it. I filled all these shelves with some burnt books as best I could. I wasn't going to get so anal that I stacked every book, perfectly. Why is this vase clipping through the... Oh, forget it. Okay, so that vase was on top there. Some of the items will eventually start clipping through the shelves and the floor, but it does take longer than it used to. So maybe they have made some improvements through some of the various patches or updates. Okay, that back shelf over there contains stationery, folders, got some blueprints, newspapers, things like that. This is where they can take notes, write things down, but mostly they're going to sit down and read.
Should be a fine day for a walk.
I got Jangles and a space alien playing a game of checkers here or reading a Robco fun book. Moving on. Got the barracks over here. How to have a place for all the settlers to sleep. I have more beds than there are actually settlers. But, wanted to make it nice and comfortable. They got a nice view, of course. Didn't want to put too many lights on the ceiling in here because I didn't want to have to come and turn them out every time they went to sleep. So we just have some candles over there. We have a lamp right here. This lamp doesn't work, but it's nice. It's a pre-war lamp. Somebody asked where I got the mirror from. This is actually a hubcap, but it's a place where they can shave maybe or just brush their hair. That's why I put the hairbrush. And if they're having a really bad hair day, they can just throw on one of the hats. I can't remember where I got the hubcap to be this shiny because I know some of them are rusted. But that will be a question I can answer in the Q&A, along with all the other awesome questions that you guys asked between these several settlement videos. Had to put some modern art on the wall just to class it up a bit. Moving on. Next, we have the science room. And once again, we could call this the chemistry room. We could call it the biology lab. We could call it the repair room. There's a lot of different things you can call it, but you guys get the idea. It's sort of where the science and facts and mechanical stuff takes place. So we have things like the microscope. Somebody's over here working on some of these electronics. Got some of the gear and fuses and wrenches and stuff. Drugs, because I managed to hook up these chemistry stations all in a row. Obviously, they're redundant because you really only need one, but I wanted to create sort of the look like it's a long counter of various equipment because each one has a bit different equipment on it. And we have some various items up here, nuclear material, you know, cryocells, flamer fuels. All right, so over here we have a fat man and some handy fuel. Maybe they are trying to experiment with some nuclear stuff. And these test tubes I had actually lined up nicely in the test tube rack, but of course they will fall out. At least this thing has stayed up there, as well as that.
The whole lot of them are out of their minds.
Okay, so this is the father of the Finch farm, and I decided to, you know, because he was balding a little bit, I decided to sort of make him the science guy, and gave him some glasses and a lab coat, have him working mostly on this scavenger's workbench, which he might return to now. Is he going to return to that? There he goes. Yeah, so he's the mechanic, the scientist of the bunch. And of course, since this is sort of a biology lab, had to have specimens of various bugs on the wall, you know, fit perfectly in there. And we have this terminal here because, of course, we have one computer desk, which, by the way, is just a TV sitting on top of a regular desk. And I added a shelf to make it look like one of those pull-out keyboard. You guys know what I'm talking about. But I wanted to have another computer in here because this one looks a little different. And this terminal here is sitting on a little table. Had to put a chair. Now you guys are probably wondering, wow, how's he got the wire going into the wall like that? That is pretty cool. I will explain all that, of course, in the next behind the scenes episode. That'll be part of the trickery fun that I show you guys. Let's see if there's anything else. I did have some fluorescent lights in here before I added these circular overhead lights, but the fluorescent lights just aren't very bright. I mean, I had like, I don't know, something like half a dozen of them in here and it barely lit the room. So I said, forget it. These things actually tuck nicely into this concrete type ceiling, so I just replaced them.
The whole lot of them are out of their minds.
Well, there you go, Kate. Gonna work on some of that electronic stuff for me? Okay, moving on. All right, so here comes the master bedroom. This place is kind of fun because I have a little laser tripwire, which is gonna open that automatic door. And of course, needed to decorate it a little bit, so put up some Nuka-Cola posters. You know, I actually had, when I was growing up, I had a neighbor whose dad worked for the Coca-Cola company, and their entire house, their entire freaking house was decorated with Coca-Cola collectible items. It was like a freaking museum. So I just had a little bit of a memory of that when I saw that they had added these Nuka-Cola posters and decided to put these up here just because it came to mind, and got the plants here covering up the sensors. So there is the laser tripwire sensor that goes across there. Wanted to hide it behind these little plants so it just looks like it's coming out of the wall. But here's the awesome thing. As soon as we trip that tripwire, the door is going to open. Ta-da! It's pretty awesome. So the wiring for this, which of course involves this switch and everything, this is some super complicated stuff. Somebody might say, hey, it's not complicated. I know exactly how I did it. Well, good for you. But for everybody else, it's going to be kind of complicated, but I promise I will explain how I did all that in the next behind the scenes video. So for you less big-headed people out there, I will definitely show you guys how to do that. It's very fun and it's very cool, and all will be revealed. All right, so let's check out this master bedroom here. Wanted to give myself a lot of space because, you know, king of the castle and all that stuff. Who knows if I'll ever have a bedroom this big in my life, but in a video game, you can make your fantasies come true. So, all right, so let's take a look at this. I wanted the other less rusty doors, but for some reason, the ones that have the concrete frame, but for some reason I could not get it to fit. You know, it just would not clip into the wall. And I didn't want to have to do too many of the rug exploits. Like I said in the very first video, I only did 2 or 3. I wanted to keep this whole settlement as mod-free. Well, it is 100% mod-free, but I wanted to, you know, create it as pure as possible just for the sake of that purity factor. So we can close this door from the inside. But I have to remember to open it back up again when I leave so that I can activate this tripwire and close the door from the outside. That's the only thing. If I close it from here and then I exit through that cool trap door that I showed you guys last time, then I can't get back in because of the way that these things are sort of reverse activated. You know what I mean? It's like the tripwire is on and it's going to close the door. Okay, but in this particular case, I wired it up to make it look like it makes sense. But I'm sure that you guys have messed around with switches and triggers and you know what I mean. It's not completely self-intuitive. Moving on, got the Unstoppables because I'm a comic book fan. Mr. Pebbles because I love cats. And I had a cool factoid in one of my Automatron DLCs about the first cat in space. Put a link to that video if you guys want. These garden gnomes are new, I think, to Far Harbor. I could be wrong, but as soon as I started finding a couple of these, I was like, these guys are definitely going in my settlement. I have found all but 2 of the bobbleheads, which is pretty awesome. The last 2 bobbleheads are going to come from the Reunions quest, which is my next main story quest that I'm going to do after I finish the DLC as we round out the last of Fallout 4 before we move on to the onslaught of awesome games that come this fall. And then the other bobblehead is from another location that I want to do a trivia walkthrough for. You guys can probably guess what it is. If you do guess, don't spoil it for everybody. But I'm going to do a quest for that, get that bobblehead, but that is a unique location that I think would be interesting to do some trivia for. Okay, moving on, got the display cases. I will talk about where all this stuff comes from in the Q&A because somebody asked about that, as well as discuss some of these guns. And look at that. Look at that. The Tesla rifle. I think that's what was sitting here. That has now clipped through the floor. Wow, I wonder if it's under there, if it's all the way on the ground. So someone was asking, how do you get these things not to clip through and fall through the ground? The truth is that I don't. I arranged everything and then pretty much started recording. So if I don't come back and maintain some of this stuff, they will fall through the floor. What I think I'll probably do after this video is reload to an earlier save where maybe this Tesla rifle hasn't fallen through the floor, because if it's fallen into the concrete block down here, I'll have to pull up the whole foundation, and that is a pain. I don't want to jump down there and check on it now, but it might just be underneath the floor there. Okay, so these items have at least stayed. Okay, got the iBot helmet here. It looks like an actual iBot because it's polished. So it looks like I killed or captured an iBot and put him on display here. Let's see, we have, I don't smoke, but you know, had to have the stogie for the king of the castle. Got the extra Grognak Barbarian comic, because if you guys have collected them, you know you can actually get 2 of this particular issue. I don't know why the subway token is there. Maybe because it looked like a big, nice souvenir coin or something. I like this drawing of the Mechanist. Okay, got the regular bedroom items like the, alarm clock. And, oh, this is already clipping through too. Okay, I'm just going to reload. Now, I will tell you that I had about 3 times as many gold bars as you are seeing here. But they did fall through the floor. They fell onto the ground, and once they fall all the way to the ground, I had to go try to pick them out from the bushes, and I probably lost, about a dozen of them. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to just keep stacking them here. I'll just leave it as like a little row of gold bars here. Viewers will get the point, hoarding the cash. And got all my little toys and souvenir items on the shelf. Because, boy's got to have his toys. And I'm not one of those people in real life that has a bunch of stuff like this on his shelves. But, video games bring back the kid in me. So, got these little things. They look like die-cast metal figurines from back when these things were popular. They may still be. These are all just the really cool helmets. You know, I went through a bunch of helmets and decided which ones were cool and displayed those and got all the nice new toy truck, you know, lunchbox. I had the 8-ball because as a kid I had one of those magic 8 balls. And I like this particular type of Vim because it glows purple. You know, got the collectible baseball and undamaged baseball glove. This thing looked like it should belong on the shelf. This isn't spelling ID, it's spelling id for those psychology people out there. You know, that's the part of your brain that's most associated with being a kid, as opposed to the ego or the super ego. The super ego being the thing that holds us back sometimes from being a kid, you know? Okay, well, I think that is it. Got the balcony over here. I shot a couple of Mirelurks last time we played. Let's see if they've returned. They haven't returned. Let's see if any of these super mutants have returned.
If it's fun you're looking for, you found
Nope,
the woman
but
of
this
your
is the
dreams.
other area. Oh, I think there's one I shot. You can see him. Where was he? Right there. So I like to come out on this little balcony here and get some target practice. Take pot shots on the super mutants over here. Gunners on the other side. Okay. Well, I think that's about it. What's up, Kate? You like this joint or you like the other one better? I think she likes my other settlement better. This one's all bunker-like and robotic and science-y, and the other one's all nice and luxurious. So I can't wait to show you guys that other settlement. Waiting for the last couple of DLCs to come out, the Vault-Tec DLC and Nuka World, to see if there's anything else they can add so I can just absolutely have that final settlement tricked out to the max without using mods, just using what comes with the material, and we will see if that works out. So, the next time we return to this settlement, I'm going to go through and answer all your questions. You guys have asked a lot of great questions in the comment sections of these last couple of settlement videos, so I will compile all those and answer all those questions, and then show you guys a bunch more tips and tricks that you guys didn't ask questions about. Oh, hey, Kate, lounging on the couch there. Don't get up on my account. I was just saying, hey, it's cool you're using the furniture. Okay, guys, thanks so much. I really appreciate it. Continue sharing these videos around because that really helps build the channel, as well as throwing the likes on the video. Again, I can't thank you guys enough for all the love and support I've been getting. So much appreciated. You've made this YouTube experience wonderful. And stay tuned for some more tips and tricks videos in the next trivia walkthrough. I'm going to do my best to wrap up Far Harbor before Nuka World comes out, because I am definitely going to be doing trivia walkthroughs for that DLC as well, so you guys can look forward to that. And that's about it. Hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you guys next time on the Skooled Zone. Peace out.